love this.
Brian, I like this.
I'm Dan. I also like this.
And this is the
Deck
Deck
the Hallmark podcast.
We have to do that again, right?
Hallmark, it's this podcast.
What was it?
Brandon and friends host this podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Wow.
Boy.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Deck the Hallmark presents
Yeah.
Distlist presents
Starring
the
the
Big
Big
Three.
Three.
That's exactly right. As you can see behind us, we have our set all good
background.
to
Ready
go.
for the disc
For the
list.
disc list.
Are we giving
We're-
you a disc list?
We're not going to utilize it today, though. We just wanted to remind people that those episodes are out there, and more disc lists will be coming maybe in the new year.
Okay.
All right. Today we're doing something called the Big Three. Now, those that have signed up for Brainwell Gem Plus know all about the Big Three.
They do.
But those who have never experienced it, this is a little teaser of what you can expect occasionally within
At least once a
Brainwell
year.
Jam Plus.
Right, things like this.
Things like this.
Yeah.
Fun
Yeah.
stuff where you get
Yeah.
to know us, pull back the curtain. Who are these boys and gal? Who are they? What are they into? What kind of stuff are they up to in their extracurrics? So, what we're going to do today, we have all brought three things that we are into right now. They could be news, sports, entertainment based. An app, a podcast, a book, a movie, a song,
A sweater,
a sweater,
Food. Have we mentioned food?
Food, yeah.
Snack.
candy.
a ton of stuff,
One time, Brand's was
haircut.
Parmesan cheese sprinkles,
which I come back to.
and you had just discovered them.
Yeah.
You had
Didn't know.
literally, and
Thought it was only in that green.
That's how long we've been doing this show.
That's right.
Fresh grated Parmesan was new to Brand in 2019.
That's right. That's right.
It was a simpler time before COVID.
So maybe you'll learn about something and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I want to listen to that or check that out or eat the Parmesan cheese. It comes in a jar like that. And so that's what we're doing here. And you get to know a lot about us as humans and then make judgments.
Judge hard.
Accordingly. Brian, let's start with you.
Yeah, man. Oh, I'd love to go first.
All right, Brian.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
All three, right? I say all three.
Yeah.
We're going to do one at a time.
One at a time.
And this is in no particular order of
Right.
things that
There's
you
no,
do.
How important
contrary
they
to
are.
popular belief and background of the disc list, not in any order.
Not in any order.
Yeah.
Not in any order.
Yeah, but this one, actually, I would put this one if I were ranking them in order. This is a good one for me. Within the last week, this is a book that I just discovered. I hope it's
Amazing.
not the book you brought.
It isn't.
Okay.
It isn't. No, you told me about this. I've not read it yet.
Hey,
What
can we
is
move the
happening
balloon,
here?
the balloon cord
We
out
are
of
still
the
celebrating
Jekyll and Hyde.
birthday
Oh,
here.
you-
Oh, man.
I was going
It
to do
took
a
me
full
too
bit.
long to figure out what that was.
Yeah.
I thought the TV
Balloon
broke.
string.
Okay. Anyway,
We should get a new
finally.tv/DTH.
TV.
Shampoo is better. Conditioner is better.
So it's a book. It's by Daniel Stern.
Oh,
of
yeah.
Home Alone fame.
It's next
City
up in the
Slicker
queue
fame.
for me.
So he wrote a book called Home
Quay.
and Alone.
Next up in the quay.
Quit. So he wrote a book called Home
Why
and
not?
Alone. He very much is not doing a ton of press on this. I forget even how I learned about it, and so immediately downloaded this book from my local library. He's the voice of the Wonder Years. That's how.
Yeah.
He is
And he's
my
narrating his
generation.
book.
Yeah. He reads his book.
Come on.
So I mean, I'm always looking for reasons to get back into the Wonder Years. I just love watching the Wonder Years, to hear his voice.
would you do?
So the fact that he's reading his book, it doesn't matter what it's about. I just want to listen to Daniel
What is it
Stern
about?
read. It's about his life. It's a
memoir.
memoir.
Yeah.
So he
And he's
talks
giving
about
all the money to charity.
all the money goes to the
Oh.
Boys and Girls Club. He started in Malibu, California.
started it.
Yeah, him and his
He's
wife.
not the Boys and Girls. The
Oh,
one
But
that
it's
he
affiliated
started.
with
Yes,
the Boys
yes.
and Girls Club.
I
But
love
he came up with a place for kids to go in Malibu. And so it's all about his life, becoming an actor, the movies he's been in, the roles, what they're like, who he's met, and his just trajectory through the career in film and out of it. He has a big life out of film. You don't see a lot
Yeah.
of him. So
Okay.
really great
He
book.
basically quit movies to start an avocado farm.
Yeah, he has a farm. He just works on his farm. Drives his ATV
Has-
around.
Has grandkids, and he's just
Yeah.
living the life.
Makes a lot of art, sculptures, and so great book for anybody who's a fan of anything he's done, because he talks a lot
How's
about the
his
movies.
art compared to George W.'s?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Okay.
You know, you got to go check out the art for yourself. It's all subjective as well, so I don't want to put
Art is
ideas.
subjective. We learned that just now. That's
I
breaking.
don't want to. That's my
Brian.
number 2.
That's right.
So that's my one of my big three.
Wow, that's really good.
Dude, he
That's really
does
good.
sculptures and they
Home
look
and Alone
really
by Daniel
impressive.
Stern.
Look at that.
Oh yeah, he does commission. Wow, that's great. He does commissions for cities and
So yeah,
stuff.
better
Better
than
than
George
George
W.
W.
Okay,
Gene W.
great.
How about
Now we
that?
know.
Oh my goodness.
Now we know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Subjectively.
So check out his art as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dan.
Yeah, I've got a book, a TV show, and a movie for you. I'm going to go with the TV show first because it is the thing that is most recent in my mind. It is Apple TV's Bad Monkey, starring Vince Vaughn. This is like a modern day noir detective story. It's got Vince Vaughn. It's got Michelle Monaghan. It's got a lot of fun actors in this particular show. It's also produced by Bill Lawrence, who did Ted Lasso, who did Scrubs, who did Shrinking, who did Cougar Town. It's funny, but also like a really great labyrinthine story. You've got two different... The story starts with people on a boat and they find they're fishing and they pull out of the water a forearm, just a forearm with a hand with the middle finger up on the hand. That is how it starts.
Yeah, that was mine. My bad.
We don't know where it came from. We don't know whose it is. And Vince Vaughn plays a detective that currently has lost his badge because someone is suing him for something that he did. We don't know what it is. We don't know anything else. So he basically starts to investigate this, even though he doesn't have the legal authority to do so, but he's going crazy at home, not being able to investigate. It is, and then it connects to a story. It's in the Keys, Florida Keys. It connects to a story in the Bahamas that you think is separate. And by the middle of the first episode, you're going to realize these two things are going to start to connect together. It's great. We're 2 episodes in. The next episode comes out as of recording this tomorrow. I cannot wait. Just very, very excited about this show. Having a blast. I love most everything Bill Lawrence does. Huge fan of Scrubs. Huge fan of Shrinking. Big fan of Cougar Town. Not huge, but big fan of Cougar Town. Big fan of Ted Lasso. Like, this is my wheelhouse show. It's the best use of Vince Vaughn I've seen maybe ever, because it's not just full go.
Yeah.
all the
You
time.
said since Fred Claus. You said
No, I did not say
that was a
anything about
direct
Fred
quote.
Claus.
He said, and quote me on this.
And quote
It
me
is
on
also not for kids. I would say that. Definitely like plenty of language and violence and stuff. So don't.
What do you think about
sit the kiddos down.
back to the new episode drops weekly or
I hate. Well, last night, my wife despises watching television weekly. She just wants to binge everything.
course,
and
yeah.
I was like, hey, I want to watch this new show. And I didn't tell her that all the episodes weren't out. So
sneaky.
I wasn't sure. She doesn't really care one way or the other about Vince Vaughn. I wasn't sure she'd be in or not. After the second episode, I was like, all right, well, I guess we can watch the next one in a couple days.
Yeah.
And she was floored
Livid, yeah.
that all the episodes were not out yet. I like the single drop, but I'm, you and I are in our 40s, Bri.
Yeah.
We are used
We
to
remember that.
I've had way more time doing episodic weekly than I do binge watching. So for me, I prefer it because I can watch multiple shows at once.
Yeah.
Instead of getting invested
Yeah.
in one world.
This is what I'm realizing too. I enjoy it.
I like
I
it.
like if they drop 1 and 2 and then you got to wait every
Correct.
week. I like that a lot because
Yeah.
it gives you time for other stuff.
Yes.
You process it.
Yes.
You can introduce other people
It's
to
the
it.
way you should watch TV, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
so I like
and I know
the
that
trend.
makes us old, but that's the way we should. I think.
Well,
we
I
should
think
watch
Old is
also
always better.
it. Yeah.
I've come around.
Barney Stinson said
I've
that.
come all the way back around to where I like it because I feel like it makes it seem like less time in between seasons of things.
Yes,
even
that's
though it's
true,
not.
man.
Like
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
they listen,
Stranger Things.
if they have done
Looking at
Stranger
you, buddy.
Things weekly, not that it, like there still would have been an ungodly amount of time in between some of the seasons, but it wouldn't have seemed like it when you do these massive drops and it's just
Well,
like
think about like Lost. The end of season 1 of Lost has a massive cliffhanger. Like,
right, he was constipated the whole time.
yeah, that is
tough,
the twist. And that's in season 4 when the writers went
My
off the
bad.
rail. They
My
did a
bad.
whole constipation storyline,
Yeah.
and that was the whole thing. In the
That
end
was
of
just
season
to
1,
sell ads, though.
you are
know
like part of
Yep.
that season is the hatch, and then at the last camera shot, you're like, how is this over? And if you think, man, how did you wait a whole year for that? Well, we didn't. That episode aired in May. New episodes aired probably late August, early September.
Right.
3.5 months
Right.
off. Like, that's it. So that's a lot.
Because it
different.
goes and there's like a break
Yeah.
during the holidays.
There's
and then
sweeps
it comes
month.
back.
You
Yeah.
get new episodes, and you don't get new episodes for a while. Like, they stretched 23 episodes out over the course of August, September, October, November, December, January, February,
31
March,
days
April, May.
has, you know.
So I
April,
like
May, yeah.
I will
January,
say
February.
this. I'm not a big 23 episodes in a season fan. I like 12 episodes, 10 episodes weekly. That's my go-to.
Okay.
my
your
wheelhouse.
wheelhouse.
All right,
Yeah.
great. My
TM.
number one is 10 to 8 episodes seasons.
Yes.
Okay. So thanks for stealing it. No, I have a podcast for those that listen to
Podcast
those.
alert.
It's a podcast called Betrayal.
Decom descendant. Oh.
It's a podcast called Betrayal, and
Part
Betrayal
of parade.
has
Christmas
done.
morning. Honk, honk.
Guys, I'm a revolutionizing podcast, and
Obviously,
you guys
yeah.
can be jelly if you want to.
Can't help it, man.
But
So
there's
jelly.
no
Can't-
one quite like me out there. So do with that what you will. Podcast is called Betrayal.
Betrayal.
Has a couple of long seasons, but they recently launched Betrayal Weekly, which tells shorter betrayals that can be told over a week or two.
It's
And
like you with the mountain, the Magic Mountain.
it's like me with the Magic Mountain.
That's a short
exactly
one.
right.
That's a short one.
It's like me with the Magic Mountain.
That's
a short
very
one.
short.
Yes.
Easy.
Yes, but
Don't need a whole season for
no,
that.
you and I on the Magic Mountain. That's a full season.
Long boy.
Because that's a whole
a whole
story.
thing.
You need to interview everybody and do your due diligence.
I didn't know you loved at that time. I didn't know you loved cotton candy. I had no idea. There's no way that I could have known that
Couldn't have
information.
known that and how it would come in clutch.
That's right. Betrayal.
Betrayal. If you listen, there's something that is for if you're a true crime fan or whatever. There is something about the finding out that somebody isn't who that they said that they were.
Yeah.
And there is something about that is
They
like
should write more movies like
they
that.
should write more movies about it. But this is real life.
I wish more stories had this in it.
This is real life.
Yeah.
This is real life people that have, pulling the old wool over someone's eyes and then, bad news.
Is there a
And,
weekly one where you got scammed twice online?
that's no, that's a
Coming this
full.
fall.
It's coming this fall. It's coming this fall. But it's even worse than that because I didn't even know that guy and I was hurt.
Yeah.
Imagine if I was married to that
What if
guy.
it turned out-
Imagine if I was
Yeah.
married
What
to
if
that
it turned
person
out
and
that
they
guy
scammed
was me?
Yes, that's exactly. That's a great one.
That is a twist
That's
I
a
did
great
not
one.
see coming.
It's exactly like
I
that.
got your $512 and I am off and running.
So listen, the first
It's in Doge,
the
unfortunately.
first episode
Oh, no.
is shocking. It's crazy. It's sad. It's compelling, and it's these people, and they're telling their own stories. And so I think the fact that you're hearing from those people. It makes it like,
the
hey, I'm
horse's
taking
mouth.
it back. No, I wouldn't call them horses, but they're taking back this awful thing that's happened to them, and they're like, you know what? I'm telling this story. I'm not gonna let someone else dictate it.
Does this have
And
a TV show too? I
It
feel
does.
like it
So
does,
there's
yeah.
two things that have the podcast seasons have been made into docuseries on Hulu. Yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah, heard of that.
But I like the weekly. Like sometimes I feel similar about some of these podcast shows that are like 8, 9, 10 episodes in a season, and it just didn't need to be that long. And I feel that way about docuseries sometimes too. Like sometimes they're just too long, and it's like, why? Like you could have done this. I really like the weekly format for this. I think it's really great, and it's nice. It's concise. Like I think each episode is like 25, 30 minutes, and so easy peasy lemon squeezy. Really, really like it. I think Aaron's here today. Aaron, are you there?
Oh, hey, Aaron. Aaron Cam.
What's up? Oh, you're yeah. There you go.
Your pod.
There's just so many directions going on. My first thing for this month is the book Fire and Bones by Kathy Reichs. It's a part of the Temperance Brennan book series, which is what
Yep,
the
there
TV
it
show
is.
Bones is based on.
I've seen fire and I've seen bones.
Yeah. So I really like that book series. She just came out with a new one. Shout out to M. Judson here in Greenville.
Shout
Shout
out.
out.
Kathy was here a couple weeks ago. I got to go and meet her. So
How is Kathy
Really?
in person?
it's fine. I both thought she had done a lot of meet and greets, and also that was her first meet and greet. It was a very weird, she didn't, I think if you had just let her talk for a couple hours, she could have had stories. I don't think she really liked the question and answer part of it.
Is she who the character Bones is based on?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Bones in the show is very much like a Q&A or like a meet and greet would be weird with her.
No, Bones, the character of Bones in the books is much different than Temperance Brennan on the TV show.
There you go.
But I just think she had stories. I mean, because she was an anthropologist for years and years and years, worked for the government.
Worked for Big Anthropology.
Yeah, finally got out of that cult though, man.
Big anthro.
The things they make you do in the anthropology cult.
Yeah. Just anthropologing.
Oh
over
my gosh.
Over.
You people there that
had so many stories to tell about writing different. She wrote all the episodes. Helped write all the episodes. She had stories to tell, and I
that's
would
cool.
listen to her forever.
Did you ask her a question?
No.
Do you have a question you wanted to ask her?
Yeah, she's
Do
here
you
right now.
ever ask questions
We
at
have.
Q&As?
You got her.
Yeah, I did once.
One time. Now I need to know what it was.
I was at this event called Christmas Con.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Oh, boy.
This podcast that I listened to dared me to ask one of the stars on
Was it
stage
Betrayal?
about Juice.
About juice, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was funny.
That does not count.
That was a funny bit.
Correction.
I did
Zero
it.
Q&A.
How many people went up and asked about the juice? There
We
was a
had
few.
three, not including us, 3 others, I think. Didn't Emily do it?
You guys
Is
did a
Emily
bit
there?
against Andrew on stage
Yeah.
at Christmas Con?
Yeah, we
did. Yeah.
Oh, that's
I think Emily
hilarious.
was there.
He was.
That's great.
It was with Jesse Metcalf was there too.
Oh, that is awesome.
And Jesse didn't know what was going on, and as you can imagine, he was awesome about it.
Did Andrew play? Like, was he playing, or was he just like, oh,
He was.
funny
He
guys?
didn't know. He didn't know how to handle it.
Oh,
I mean,
that
there's
is-
like over 1,000 people in the crowd.
Yeah.
And we're asking.
So the
juice
second
questions.
ingredient here, false faith. That is funny.
Yeah, so I asked about JuiceCon.
Juice. That's
Con.
right. He came from
He
JuiceCon
was late to Christmas Con because of
because he was at JuiceCon.
That
That's right.
doesn't
Yeah,
sound
yeah.
real.
JuiceCon.
JuiceCon. It was in Miami.
But I
It was
asked that
pretty.
question at a Q&A.
Nice.
Other than that, no, I'm just happy to be
Brand got
there.
his wallet stolen at Juice Con.
At the minimum.
Yeah. Dan, back to you
Almost
for
got
number.
talked into joining anthropology.
Oh man,
You get high up
They're
in there, you don't
sneaky.
think you can die.
Yeah, man.
That's
They
right.
are tricky.
Dude, Tom
You
Cruise?
start jumping out of planes. Yeah.
Yeah. Back to me. Let's go to my movie. My
Oh,
movie
okay.
is, I'm debating whether or not it's my favorite movie of the year. It did briefly show up in the cinema, but you can now catch it on streaming. It's called Thelma.
Ooh, I've heard about this.
Thelma is a movie starring June Squibb. June Squibb, she was in a movie called Nebraska that's great. She's been acting for 70 plus years. She is 94 years old. In the movie, she plays the titular character, 92-year-old Thelma. Thelma is living by herself. Her kids and her grandkids all think that she should not be living by herself, and she gets scammed out of $10,000, and she also happens to have watched Mission Impossible, and so she decides not only to prove that she's still got it, but also because she wants to and she can, she's going to go on a heist-style adventure to find and reclaim her $10,000. It has Richard Roundtree, who is Shaft. It has Parker Posey from all the Christopher Guest movies in it. It is hysterical. It is heartwarming. It has something to say about people at all stages of life. I laughed. I cried. I loved this movie so dearly. I would gladly watch it again. I can't wait to watch it at some point with my wife and watch the whole thing again. I adored this movie. I loved it. I've not stopped thinking about it. Maybe my favorite movie of the year. Really a good time, and most people haven't heard of it. So find it if you don't know what to rent. It's a really good watch. It's very easy breezy, funny. It's not super deep. It just is a great time and really, really well done. So check it out.
And Antonio, no, not Antonio. I'm sorry. Alonzo was talking to me about this.
Oh,
and,
yeah?
And on his podcast, he does a really great review of it. And he was just like, "You got to see Thelma. If you see one movie, go see Thelma."
Great.
So
there you go. Alonzo
high rep.
Durali's with me. What about Dave White? Did he? I've not listened yet. Was Dave White with me on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
He liked it too.
Great.
They raved about it.
Yeah. We went in blind. Brand saw it with me. We went in blind. I knew
Oh yeah.
not like the picture on the poster is her looking like she's speeding in like a little scooter. And I'm like, that's enough. June Squibb doing that. That's enough for me. And I didn't know anything else about it. And I adored it.
Yeah. That sounds great.
So
I think it was my choice. I think I was like, I want to go see Thelma.
yeah.
Yeah. And you tagged along.
Great
Yeah.
choice.
A lot
Glad
of
I
people.
did.
A lot of people think that only Dan knows things about stuff, and sometimes I know things about
Sometimes
stuff
you
too.
do.
I think this one was my choice, actually. I don't think either one of us knew anything. And I was like, you want to go see Thelma? And then you were like, I watched the trailer and I'm in.
Okay.
But it could have been yours.
Whatever you say.
Yeah. You've dragged me some good movies before.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm
Kicking
good
and
at-
screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
typically.
Thelma's great. Big fan.
And no Louise in this one either. Which
No,
I
just
think
Thelma.
for
Yeah.
Thelma and
Makes
Louise
sense.
fans, that's
R.I.P.
actually a big,
Louise,
of
obviously.
course,
Yes.
obviously.
Yeah.
Didn't survive that call.
No. Brian.
Yeah. My
man.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? My
Yours is
my
also
sec-
Fire and Bones. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's
dude.
weird.
What
I
are
was
we-
at this Q&A and I was like, "Tell me about that juice." My second is it's a specific podcast episode. It's Brand, I have to thank you for this. I know Dan stole your fire there.
With
You
Thelma?
did introduce me to Lawrence.
Yes, I
and you've
did.
been banging the drum on Lawrence for quite a while.
Yeah.
How did I steal his? I can't.
Well, he said it was his idea to go to the movie. You said actually it was my
Oh.
idea to go to the movie.
Okay,
Shut your
okay.
pie hole.
Got it,
We
yeah,
edited
yeah.
a lot of it
Yeah, yeah.
out that you said to him. But it
Yeah,
was,
of course we
got
edited it all
ugly,
out.
man.
Yes, of course.
I don't know why you had to take your clothes off to make that point.
Yeah.
But you did.
Like,
You
we
know
thought
how
we
I get when
talked
I
about it.
argue.
Yeah,
There's
we
nothing I
gotta
can do
stop.
about it, man.
We got to stop. We got to lower the temperature. So my specific episode, it's a Rick Glassman episode. Lawrence was on the Rick Glassman podcast. Don't Take Your Shoes Off. It's called. It's called Take Your Shoes Off. And he sets up a keyboard. Lawrence is a duo, a brother and sister, and they have great songs. And Rick Glassman sets up a keyboard, and they go in there and they start talking, doing the interview. And it doesn't take long. I don't know their names. You know the brothers' names?
Clyde and Gracie.
Clyde.
Clyde and Gracie, classic.
He gets behind the keyboard, and the whole episode basically is Rick Glassman naming songs and Lawrence just doing them, just playing. Just Gavin DeGraw. They do a broken down version of That Thing You Do.
Boy.
Like, they are just having a blast, and you just get to watch, and it is phenomenal. It's so fun. If you like music, any type of music, I feel like this is a great episode to listen to. It's on YouTube, and it's his podcast, so you can listen to it or watch it. I recommend watching just because they just rock out.
Yeah.
The production value is really, really good on that. So a lot of fun.
Listen, I love Lawrence.
I know
I
you
think
do.
for my money, I think they're the best thing out there right now.
For
It's
your
like-
money, they're the best thing out there.
Yeah,
They're-
like as
they're
far
out
as
there.
like newer bands that are like really crushing it.
They are
They're-
crushing
I don't
it.
like,
And they're so
if you
talented.
don't know who they are, go on YouTube and watch their acoustic versions that they do.
Yeah.
Just incredible.
They are great.
Incredible.
Yeah, and they'll just jam out on whatever.
On whatever,
So talented.
whatever you
So
need, whatever
talented.
you need jammed on, they jam
Yeah,
it.
they will. So good stuff right there.
What's your favorite type of jam?
Favorite type of jam?
Yeah, or preserve.
Oh, you get
I'd
either
say,
now, huh? Wow.
A raspberry.
I
is-
even asked the
I
question.
like a
I'm
raspberry.
feeling generous.
Yeah.
Apricot, though.
May as well
don't
throw jelly in there,
don't
too, while you're at it.
underestimate
This
apricot
guy.
preserve. Okay.
Okay, fine. Jam, jelly, or preserve.
Yeah.
Does that change it at all?
Apricot preserve.
Jam, jelly, or
Yeah.
Yo, I'm sorry. What?
Yeah. Apricot preserve. Yeah. I said that, and that's what I'm going to stick with. What's wrong with that?
Dan, you're not responding.
I was looking up the text thread on Thelma.
You're not listening though.
Jam. All of them are great. I'm
No,
going jam.
they're not all.
No, he said his favorite is apricot.
Yeah, I know.
What are you gonna do about that?
That's great.
Well, you let him include preserves. That's on you. If you'd have stuck with jams, his hands would have been tied.
Okay, fine. Preserves are out.
I'm not going to say grape, so don't get that out of your head.
Well, that's a jelly
okay?
anyway. Come on, read a book.
Raspberry. Raspberry. Okay.
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 All right.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
great.
You looked it up.
I looked it up. I did come up with.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's okay. You said you were in for it, though.
All right.
Sounds like a wash to me.
Yep.
You guys remember Wordle?
Sure do.
You guys remember
Remember
the
Hurdle? I don't want to talk about it.
Oh my gosh! Rest in
so
peace,
fast.
obviously.
Yeah, that's the
Obviously.
biggest.
Oh my
rest
gosh!
in peace.
Spotify bought something and ruined it.
Ruined
That's
it? What do you
crazy.
know? Ugh,
I couldn't believe
so
it.
frustrating.
Spotify, you could offer us all the money in the world, we wouldn't sell to you.
Spotify, that's not true. Let's get Spotify big mad at us. Let's do that.
Do it. Come at me,
Yeah,
Spotify.
come at us with a bunch of cash.
You're too busy buying up companies and ruining them.
All right. You got another
I'm
one?
sure there's
Or
a number
what's-
we
whose
let them
turn is it?
ruin this
yes.
company
I was
for.
starting a point. I was
You're starting a point,
was
and then
starting
you're
a
going to
point.
make it. Jam,
Yes.
preserve, jelly.
That's exactly right. And just by the way,
Preserve.
for my marbles,
Money?
it is
Oh.
grape jelly actually.
Come on.
Even though you asked about jam.
Well, if we are bringing in
So
preserves,
uncommittal. It's
if we're
ridiculous.
bringing in preserves like the cinnamon
all
butter,
bets are
like
off.
cinnamon butter,
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
Okay. That's not a
That's not a
preserve.
preserve,
It's
that's
a
a
butter.
butter.
Well,
It's a
like what
fat.
about it like
What I'm learning here is that this year's Parmesan cheese is preserves.
It's actually not even on my list.
Do we even have preserves in
I
this
gotta be
office?
honest, what
Do we-
is preserves?
We're talking a lot about them.
Fruit that has been preserved right over time with like something else in it. And
I
it's
don't
What
know.
about like
it's
an apple
a
butter?
jam with chunks
What
of fruit
apple
in it.
butter? Is that still a butter?
I honestly
Because
just thought,
but that's apple.
You're making Aaron sad over
No,
there.
that
Is it Aaron's turn?
All right,
I
no,
thought
it's not.
they just rebranded
It's
jelly.
not Aaron's
is
turn?
apple butter.
Oh my God.
Preserve.
I thought preserve was just another type of jelly. Really, honestly, if I just can show my cards.
Apple butter is a spreadable fruit preserve. Google says it.
I don't trust them.
Guys, I don't. Food Network. I don't know what to tell you. So
that's the wrong definition. A sweet food made with fruit
Preserved in
preserve
sugar.
and sugar Such
I mean,
as
maybe you all have been wrong this whole
jam
time.
or marmalade. Oh, let's do marmalades.
Oh, we didn't even throw marmalade into the mix.
If we're doing
Never be done
marmalade,
here.
if we're doing marmalade,
We'll never leave.
I'm going Paddington.
I'll go 2.
Fair. So you guys remember Wordle? That's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Okay. So Wordle was everywhere, and then we all kind of gave up on it.
You going with
And we're-
Connections?
I'm going with Connections.
You are.
I love Connections.
You do.
So I downloaded. I was like, I haven't played Wordle in a while. I downloaded the New York Times Games app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a lot of stuff
because
in
that's
there?
kind of where I'm at.
He doesn't
don't-
know
you
the
don't know
internet,
technology.
and he
Yeah,
loves
man.
the New York Times games.
Just bundle everything.
I've started doing the mini cross, but within it, I found Connections,
Yeah.
which I don't know how long it's been around, but it's newer-ish to me. I've been playing it for maybe four months now, and I think it is superior in every way to Wordle. It's a different, obviously. It's just it's a game, but I like. Do you know about this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think most
How long
people
has
know
it been
about
around?
Connections. It's been around for a while.
Months?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think longer than months.
I've done it
because
one time.
I was.
And what you were? Was it too much for you? You could.
Here's the
you could
thing
outfit
about
the
I
room.
think I don't
Go ahead
wanna
and tell
put
me
the
why you
time.
love it.
I
Yeah.
like it. I like it because I'm really in awe of the game maker, the puzzle makers. They get a credit at the bottom there, and sometimes they're really good. And I'm just very impressed that somebody can think of a way to have multiple categories, and sometimes there's an overlap there.
Yeah.
But it's not what you're looking for. You're looking for this. And I'm really impressed that there are people out there that brains work. Like, I can see it and I'll get there eventually, but I don't know if I could come up with a Connections as good as they got. They're great. They're great out there. So just like Lacey Chabert was really good at puzzles, she was a crossword.
Yes.
She made the crosswords, and that's another thing that's really impressive is that all that works. But I don't know. I'm really that's the thing I love about it most is being in awe of people being really good at their jobs.
There's some fun
one.
reels about Connections game makers that are really fun that you need to check out.
Okay.
I know that's not your thing on the internet, but
Yeah, I
if
haven't
you-
heard about
there
it.
You
was
gotta go
one
online
real.
for that.
because the thing about Connections is 3 of them always make sense, and one of them always feels like the whim of the game maker.
Yeah.
It's like things that you never would consider are these things. They have made them these things, and so when I remember, my wife does it every day, and she's like, "Did you get Connections today?" And when I do it, I get it, but I always end up with one I don't know.
Yeah.
At the
Like
last
the
4,
other
I'm
day-
like, don't know how these 4 go together.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Because I end up with just 4 left.
The
and I'm
other
like, we're good to
day
go.
was like 4 of the 7 doors without their final letter. And it was like
It wasn't that because
it
it was
was-
D-O was one of them.
yeah, and so it's Doc. It was
Yeah,
without
Doc.
the
Yeah,
C.
yeah,
It's
that's right, that's
without
right.
the final letter
Yeah,
of
yeah.
their name. And so it was very funny because you're like, I don't know how I would have
But
gotten
they will
this.
do what drives me nuts is sometimes they'll do something that clearly works and it's not the
That's
right
right.
answer, which makes it arbitrary. If you do something where one seems like it goes with this, that's fun. Where it's like these
Mm-hmm.
2 things seem like they go together, but they actually don't. But when you have 4 things that all could group together and they don't,
Yesterday, that happened to me yesterday. It was something about wind or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah?
Yeah, and there was
Yeah.
there was like 5 that it could have been, and one of them, and it was like a whole
a whole thing.
whole
and it
thing.
keeps saying one away.
You know, one
Yeah.
away, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you're one away.
You're one away.
One away.
Yeah.
But yes, I really like it just because I like being impressed by people that are
Yeah.
just a lot smarter than
Good at
I
their
am.
jobs.
And
It's a fun time.
I get a bit of a rush by it of
You
seeing
get a bit
it
of a
happen.
rush.
I get a bit of a rush.
I love it.
So that's where I'm at in my life. But I did do the mini cross a few days ago, and I got it right for the very first time.
And
I've always
Congratulations.
said I don't have the mind for crossword puzzles.
I love crossword
I just don't think that I've always said this. I don't think that I get it. But I got it. And now I'm thinking maybe I am.
My dad
cracked
and
it,
I
man.
used to go to Bojangles.
Sure.
Shout out. And we would he'd get the USA Today and the state paper, and we would
course.
and then we would do the crossword, and it would frustrate me as a child. And then I realized that a lot of there's a language to it.
There's a language.
Like looking for the plural, looking for the lowercase, looking for the and once you figure out the language of crosswords, and each paper has their own, they're a blast.
I got to train my brain a little more. I think I should start doing. Come
on down.
Yeah, I should give Connections a whirl.
So
for
it's
like
New York. It's New York Times.
It's an
game.
application.
Fledgling publication
Is it on the
called
internet?
the New
Like-
York Times.
The www.
If you literally watch this, if you just type in connections, it'll be there.
No.
And then you just go connections,
No.
and then you just go play, and you're in.
But I
Well,
like
they got
I
my
like
data.
downloading the. I like
Then
having
they,
the app.
they got my
You do
data.
it on the.
so.
I just
No, I do it on the app
connections.
because it's all just right there.
There it is,
You know,
right there.
Is that won't track how you're doing over time
Nope,
though, right?
this
It'll just
won't.
go away.
It will
But
show you
yours
my
will.
resorts. My resorts.
Your resort? How
I
many
did. I
resort-
bought a resort.
You did?
Yeah,
Is
I
that
didn't
your
want to
third
tell you
big
guys.
three?
Yeah, that's my
How do
third.
you put that in
Oh,
there?
boy.
the resort you bought. How do you?
does
At
it
the
fit?
end, they give you like, "Did you buy a resort?" Here you go.
Yes or no?
I didn't know they were in that that market.
Man.
They are.
Impressive.
Aaron,
I'm going to try it right now.
Yep.
how are we doing?
Good.
Okay.
How are we on
Really
time?
following anything that's happening
Fair.
over there,
She's
but-
like, connections are so 2 months
yeah,
ago.
I'm not getting the connections of this episode.
They're so demure.
Fair.
It's not demure or mindful, but we're here. We're doing it. A thing. You ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Okay. My second one is
We're only on
a
2, huh?
podcast. I know. Can
Okay.
you believe it?
It's a little podcast
Yep.
called
It's
Decondescendants.
Pot of parade.
The Squeeze. It
The
is
Squeeze.
Squeeze. It is a podcast with Taylor and Taylor Lautner, and it delves into from Twilight, Taylor Lautner.
And he married
someone named Taylor.
Yes.
Taylor. Yep. They call themselves Boy Tay, Girl Tay, so you can tell.
Cool.
But it dives into like mental health. They have a lot of different like mental health professionals, and it's a really good podcast where they give you like resources if you're struggling with certain things. But it's a great listen. It's been kind of like a I don't know. Some episodes I think maybe aren't light and easy, but some of them are just like, oh, here's how they'll interview different celebrities with how they're handling fame or. Yeah, but it's a good listen, and I like it a lot.
Yeah,
I love
that's
it.
great. Taylor and Taylor, the Squeeze. Why is it called the Squeeze?
Because when life gives you lemons.
Okay.
Duh.
Their
What do you
tagline
do?
Is when life gives you lemons. Here at the Squeeze, we talk about it. I don't know their whole thing. I think there's more onto the lemons. I don't know quite how that started.
Okay, so it's not as focused on the lemons.
No, I mean
Okay.
they start every episode with some like icebreaker questions like. If you could be a fruit, what would you be?
Oh, nice.
The game is called Citrus Got Real.
Okay. What do you think
That's
they would
fun.
say about jelly jam or preserve?
I think
Well, I mean, what do you think they would say about apple butter?
they'd probably agree with you that.
Okay,
it's
great.
preserved.
Awesome.
Do you want to apologize?
No,
Officially? No?
don't.
Wow.
You have until the end of the episode, and then you can't anymore after it because I won't.
I'm not going to. I'm on Dan's side here. Thelma was his idea.
I'm fine with Thelma being his idea, but I'm right about preserves. Let's take a break. I forgot we had.
Yeah, we gotta do that.
Here on Take the Homework. We're back. We're big threeing it.
Yeah, we
We
are.
are telling you 3 things we're into. We are down to our final one each, which isn't necessarily the best. It's just one of them.
That's right.
Dan.
Yeah, so the books I typically read on Audible are history books or religion books or something that like interests me that I just want to listen to more of. But occasionally I'll be listening to a podcast and I'll hear a book brought up over and over again, and that will be assigned to me that it's like, maybe I should check this out. And for some reason, a book that is brought up all the time in the podcast that I listen to, which are mostly interviews, is Steve Martin's Born Standing Up. Now, Steve Martin, there's another season of Only Murders in the Building coming out here in a week or two. I love that show. Huge Steve Martin fan. I think he's great in most everything he's in. And people think that this is the stand-up comedy Bible. I read Born Standing Up, and it was like a page turner. I couldn't believe how much I loved it. It's wonderful. It's got good insight. You see Steve Martin trying to navigate having more success than he ever thought possible or ever wanted. Why he had a weird relationship with SNL, why he had a weird relationship with stand-up comedy. This is a guy who is selling out stand-up comedy venues at a rate no one had ever seen before, and then he just decided to quit one day. And this book spells all that out, and he has a relationship, like he has a very interesting relationship with his father. This book is heartbreaking. It's funny. It's got everything you could want in a memoir. High recommend. I know that it's been on the shelf for 25 years. Wow. I just read it. He narrates it on Audible, which is even better. Check it out. Born Standing Up.
That's great. That's great. Really good. When you say page turner, when you're listening, would it be like it's almost the opposite though is true because you're not like skipping forward. You're like.
It's a great point, Brandon.
So it's an
I just used it as like a term.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
Yeah.
But like, what would be the equivalent?
It would be like a don't turn the car off.
Nice.
Yeah.
Or this is something I want to listen to. Just like I want it at 1x speed. I want to preserve
Ooh, yeah. There's no thing I want at 1x speed. I mean, I haven't found it yet. I don't
Really?
listen to anything at 1x speed.
You know how I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. You get in the car and you're like, why is my brain speeding up so
Well,
quickly?
I want to experience.
My standard Audible is 1.7. My standard podcast is 1.5. That's usually
Wow.
where I live. And then I go up or down depending on the voice, how fast or slow it is.
Yeah.
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 Brian,
Yeah. Wondering my speed or my number 3?
both.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I podcast at least 1.5.
Yeah,
I start
yeah.
a book at 1, and then as I learn their voice, I bump it way up. Yeah. Crank it
I
up.
just want everyone to know that listens to our podcast at more than 1x, more than normal. That I don't condone it.
Really? I listen to our podcast at fast speed.
Nor do I consent to it.
And then I come in here.
So anytime you
can't
are
stand
listening,
you guys.
anytime I start talking,
Talk so slow.
bump me down to normal. That's how I want you to hear me. The way that God if God wanted me to talk faster, He would have turned up the.
Maybe
I don't
Vince
actually
Vaughn.
know how it works.
That's a
but
weird thing to say.
he would like crank up. He'd crank up the fast talking knob.
God wanted me to talk.
Turn up that
faster.
knob.
What
That's right.
you're doing is against God's will if you speed up our podcast.
I'm not saying you said it. You said it, friend.
It's a weird thing to say
You
out
said it,
loud.
friend. I think it's the same thing. Like I just like it the way that it's supposed to be. You know, the way that it- the way
I'm,
that it
I'm
is.
big on
I
that
get
when it
that.
comes to watching
Yeah.
stuff.
I
But when it
watch
comes to
shows like
listening,
that.
I'm like, people need to get on with it. Like, there's
Yeah.
a lot of like pauses where I'm just like, let's move, let's go.
I need to pause sometimes.
Yeah.
You know
We
what I
all
mean?
do. Amen?
Sometimes I like Daniel Stern's book. I listened at 1 the whole time
Ooh.
because I'm like, I
You
wanna
want his
sit in
voice
that.
the way
Yeah,
that
you
you
wanna
experienced
marry it
it.
I
Yeah.
don't want that to end. You know.
Yeah.
So and I want it the way it is. So I get that. My number 3 on
You
my
may go.
list. Okay, thank you. So when I moved to South
Lime
Carolina.
LaCroix. Just kidding.
Ugh, LaCroix. No, there's no place for
Yeah,
that in this
no.
office. I left a great barber. I've had him for years. I love going to see Rob.
Shout out to
Great.
Rob.
Rob the barber.
Boston Rob,
Danvers,
if you will.
Mass. No, Danvers Rob.
Danvers.
Danvers kid. And he ended up moving into a place called Sola Salons. Have you heard of these? Sola Salons. It's like a place
Say
where
it again.
Sola Salons.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Okay,
No,
okay.
no.
All right. So it's like a big space where individuals can
Rent.
rent out a little
chair, yeah.
suite or a chair.
Sola Salon.
Yeah, and so he was in one of those. No, because it's all different. You could be a massage therapist or a barber or do hair dyeing, like a true
preserve.
salon.
Or you could be a jam, a jelly.
Yeah, or what's the Paddington thing? Marmalade, if
Marmalade.
you will. So
They allow marmalades.
when I got down here, I was trying out a lot of different barbershops, trying to find a place where it all felt great.
It all clicked in.
Yeah, and so then I realized
It all clipped in. You mean?
it all clipped in. That was awesome.
Thanks, guys.
That was awesome. And so there is a Sola Salons down here in Greenville. And
Okay.
so I just said, I'm going to shop around in the Sola Salon. So I got to try out 3 or 4 different Like I haven't settled on. I found a good one yet. I hadn't found a good
You
one.
haven't- okay.
I hadn't. And then I was like, look at this Sola Salons. There was like 4 different places I tried over a few months. And I found one.
A couple of few months.
Couple
Okay.
of few
Is that
months.
6 months?
Did Rob move
Is a
down
couple
here?
of
No.
few
A
months?
couple of few
Couple
months.
of
That's
at
6
least-
months.
At least 6 months. Yes.
Maybe it was over 3 months. Okay. I was going more than I needed to just to get
So
in
you
the
just say
chair.
a few months.
Just to get in the chair every few months. Okay.
You were going to get your haircut how many times a month?
Maybe like 2 times a month.
You got to get your haircut twice a month.
It's about that. I went on a streak there. I was
Things
getting
you will spend money on are fast.
It's
food.
unbelievable.
It was no, it was overboard.
It's $100 a month.
No.
Easy.
No.
It isn't?
No, they were like
With tip?
25.
$25.
Express cut.
$25
Yeah.
for a haircut.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
It
There's
shows.
some deals to be had. Yeah. Yeah, you pay the price in another way.
So who is this Sola Salon
So
barber?
I found this barber. Her name's Taylor, and she's just cool. She's very cool. She's in Greenville.
She
and
calls her
What's
salon
her
the
business
squeeze.
name? Shout it out.
Taylor Made, I think it's called. Actually,
It's
Can't
called
do that.
Taylor
Shouldn't
Made.
be
There's
allowed.
no way.
It's copyright.
It's called Taylor Swift.
I
She's
actually
really
don't know.
quick
I'll
on the
find her.
cuts.
But it's really great because you get try a bunch of places. It's got a whole slew of different types of people in there. So Sola Salon, a very cool business idea.
But the name of the Sola Salon is
No, the place, the building is like a Sola salon.
Where is it?
This is they're all over. It's
But
like
where
a
is
franchise.
the one you're going to?
In Greenville.
Where?
It's called Sola Salon, and her little chair, her spot in it, her name's Taylor.
Is this an Abbott and Costello episode?
Where
in
is
Greenville?
where's the location that
is
you're going
hair
to?
Pelham Road.
cuttery?
All right, you're going
This
to
is on
Pelham Road.
Pelham
I'm
Road.
out. Okay,
Well, it's
Yeah.
not near
Yeah.
you. It's near me.
What do I?
That's her.
What
With
do I
Taylor
need-
made. See? Hair
What-
studio.
I mean, you're describing a place where I need a passport.
But what's
Pelham
her,
Road?
What's so special?
Get out of here.
What's so special
hit-
about Taylor?
Oh, we just get along great.
What do you like about Taylor?
I like. She's very chill. She's just easy to talk to. Some people will talk a lot, and then you're just like, all right, let's take a breath. Sort of like, let's slow down the podcast speed. Let's take a chill pill.
100%.
So we just got a good rapport. I've enjoyed it, and she does a really good job. And so I think I found my spot. So Sola Salons, if you're looking for a new spot, see what's available. That's all I'm saying.
If you're looking for somebody easy to talk to, who's there for you?
You might want somebody who talks a mile a minute, and we'll talk to you the entire time with not even taking a breath.
Right, you just have a good vibe
You might,
with,
yeah, man, the vibe is big.
and you pay by the hour. Then
So that's mine.
And you weren't getting that from anyone else,
What do you mean?
like just
Oh, the
what you were
vibe?
looking for.
No, I had some good ones, but this one just felt like really comfortable. I was like, this feels most like Rob. Getting my cut with Rob, it was just real comfortable, really
Did it
easy.
take you a long time to let a woman cut your hair because you were used to Rob?
Taylor's the new Rob, is what we're
Taylor's
saying.
the
Yeah,
Rob.
Taylor. Yeah, she's the Greenville Rob.
She's the Greenville Rob.
I'm
That's
so-
what we call it.
Yeah.
That's what she's in your
Greenville
phone
Rob.
is?
Greenville Rob. Oh, it's Taylor.
That was such a wild way to talk
It was
about the
the
whole
longest way
feel
to
like it's
Taylor
pretty
now
clear.
cuts my hair and she's great.
Yeah, but the business Sola Salons is a cool idea.
It is how most every barber shop in America runs. You rent
Go
the
ahead,
chair.
Aaron.
I just have a clarifying question. Is your third big three Sola Salon?
Yeah.
Or Taylor.
Taylor at Sola Salons, but it's the Sola
you gonna
Salons.
send this to her?
It's the Sola Salons. Like the business is very cool because it offers you a lot of different options.
It is
And Taylor,
like-
I found a great option named Taylor
Okay,
at
so
a Sola Salon.
Salon is your option.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my third
Your
big
example,
three.
okay.
Yeah.
Sola Salon Studios.
But I don't want everybody going to Taylor.
Pelham Road.
I need to be able to schedule my cuts with Taylor, so I don't need everybody
it's
going
on
to Taylor.
Pelham Road, Bri. You don't have to worry.
Yeah, you got to update your
There
passport.
is another one on Woodruff, a Sola Salon.
I'm out
Okay.
again though.
Is there?
Yeah, it's still
I think it's still under construction.
Where-
That one's not open yet.
Listen, but I
Where on
called
Woodruff?
Sola Salon
I think it's by Haywood,
because
actually.
you weren't giving us an address. Two popped up.
Oh, there's one on Woods Crossing.
just
Now
don't
we're
want a
getting
lot of people
closer to
going.
our neck of the woods. We're getting a
But
little
again,
closer.
this is just
How barber
correct me-
shops
So
work.
you go in and you can try. You can use someone to cut your hair, and if you like them, you can go back to them.
Yeah.
If you don't, you can try someone else, maybe in another chair.
Yeah.
And it's a 20. The thing
But
I
they
hung
work
up
for
on
themselves.
is how is Taylor making any money at $25?
Taylor's
a
not
haircut?
cutting my head for.
They're
for
not all for
25.
25. You can. This is the in
What do
and
you mean
out.
they're not?
Is
What do you mean
Taylor
they're not?
charge
Is
$25?
Taylor charge everybody $25 no matter on
Taylor's
the
not
hairstyle?
25. Taylor's
Taylor's
a little
more.
bit more than 25.
Okay.
My
How
other
much?
ones.
How much?
were
Yeah.
How much is Taylor?
Taylor's 30. Huh? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if I go
don't
in
get,
this-
I don't get a lot going on.
But
up
is
here.
Taylor charging me $30?
If you go in for a 30-minute cut, express cut,
You
no
can't.
shampoo,
Okay.
Swift, the
30
Swift cut,
bucks.
the Taylor Swift cut.
cut, if you will. Why,
But what does
TM
that-
Wow, that's good. Yeah, 30 bucks.
I don't think she could do my head. In 30
There's no
minutes.
way.
She would love to do your hair.
Yeah, I already got it. Somebody I love.
Yeah.
What do you pay for a haircut?
55.
55, yeah.
That's big bucks, but it's probably a really nice
I
experience, right?
love him.
He's the
He's
best.
the best, and he's
Sometimes-
the only person that's ever cut my hair where I feel safe.
Yeah, this is what I'm getting. at.
Like there's a
I'd
lot
pay
of people
more
are
than 30.
hard with my hair. You got to do a lot,
Yeah.
and they nick me, and and I can feel
He's
it.
the
I
best.
don't feel a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does it.
I want
Magic
Brian to
hands.
go to Aaron one time and get his hair cut.
Aaron,
Since we're
doesn't-
shouting
Aaron
out
won't
barbers.
talk to you.
Yeah, I would
Aaron won't
shout-
talk to
Aaron
you.
Harrison, Studio 108. That's
So
the-
what's crazy about what he does? They just recently moved into a new space.
Yeah.
And inside of this place, there's lots of different types of salons and stuff.
That's right. And you can charge
that
whatever
right?
you want.
You can charge
Wow.
whatever you want to.
That's amazing.
But I
It's
don't know.
not
I mean,
called
I
Soul
wouldn't,
Salon.
I wouldn't
No.
call it. I wouldn't call it that.
No, don't call it that.
Don't.
OC.
Guys, I gotta give a shout out for my third to Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. I don't know where it's been my whole life aside
On the
from
shelf.
the fridge in our studio. Because I went in there the other day.
Is that one cold?
It's gone, first of all,
It's
so
gone, so-
shove off.
Yeah.
It
I
was
was just
cold.
going to try it.
You
I
typed it
don't
up
know
yesterday.
what it is about it that is really. You know why? Did we get these because
Bramblefest,
Scott
right?
requested them? Did Scott
Probably.
request them at Bramblefest?
I don't know if Scott specifically requested Dr. Pepper, but did request zero sugar.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
got a couple different flavors.
Listen, I don't know what I've been doing all these years with the Diet Coke. Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar has, I don't know.
Zero sugar.
It's done.
It's just what the doctor ordered.
It just works. It just works. You drink it, and you're like, wow, that just works. And that's what I'm looking for, and that's what I haven't had.
Yeah. Hey, I hear you, man.
And I don't know. I've had this is better than Dr. Pepper.
Wow.
And you're talking so big about this beverage, and I know I won't. Like, in
Go
my
get
head,
one, and then if you don't even want it, I'll give it more. By that I mean I'll drink it.
I'm just gonna take a sip regardless.
Aaron, what's your third? What's your third, Aaron? And then we'll get out of here. We'll skedaddle.
Yeah. It's late August.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. And I just love that Greenville has decided it's fall. This week the temperatures dropped down to the 70s. Different coffee places are
Here we
putting out
go.
their PSL. Nope, we moved on from you.
No, I'm talking about your. I was supporting you over here.
Got it.
Yeah.
I thought you were excited because you got back.
No.
So my third big three is Parlor Donuts released their fall flavors.
Oh my goodness.
The pumpkin chai cheesecake
Careful.
Oh my gosh.
There
donut.
aren't
I don't
words.
even have words for how good this donut is. All their fall flavors so far that we've tried, 10 out of 10. You could not do a diss list with Parlor Donut flavors because they're all just,
And we tried.
yeah.
Yeah, it's been sitting here for weeks.
Yes.
We've been trying to figure
Yeah.
it out for weeks and we just can't. And that's
We
why
put
you're
the
getting
papers
this.
up.
Yeah, we did.
And we kept thinking it was going to come to us.
But as someone who loves to bake, my favorite thing to bake is a red velvet cupcake with a cream cheese frosting. And I have not done that since I tried Parlor Donuts cream cheese frosting because theirs is so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I both love it, and it also makes me mad because I know I'm never gonna make a cream cheese frosting as good as Parlor Donuts.
Sure.
So yeah, if you have a Parlor Donuts near you, or even if you don't have one near you, go find one.
Did anybody try the apple pie?
Not yet.
Okay. That I didn't try that one, but I'm telling you right now, the pumpkin
Is it
chai.
here? We got
It's
it
in the
here right
fridge,
now?
We
yeah.
got it here.
The fridge.
I mean, should we try right now to close out the big
Probably
three?
should.
Oh, that's a
We
great
also have a
idea.
butterscotch coffee.
Dan, can you run and go grab
Yeah.
that real
Yeah,
quick?
sure, buddy.
What did you think about the Dr.
can we
Pepper
get a-
Zero Sugar?
I can see how you love it.
It's
It's the sweetest
Yes.
diet drink I've ever tasted.
and it's listen. I think part of it is Dan is I know we're about to try a donut, but I've been trying to cut back on the sweets.
Yeah, you
I've been
have.
eating candy.
Yep.
I'll have
Good for
a
you,
little
bud.
donut hole here or there, but I'm not. I'm cutting back.
Good for you.
Mainly because I don't want to die anytime
good
soon.
reason. That's a-
Brand, you've been doing great.
Thank you.
Good reason.
Thank you.
There have been a lot of healthy choices in your diet recently, and I appreciate that.
Thank you. And I think this
Yeah.
is like, oh man, this is really nice and it's really sweet, but it's I don't gotta listen. I might have to worry about this
Those
causing
chemicals?
something else to
Yeah.
come in and kill me, but it won't be the sugar.
Sugar ain't gonna get you.
It won't be the sugar.
Not that sugar.
Okay, so here we'll close out with
Oh,
this.
there's only one here.
There's
That's
only one
the
here. So we're all just
apple-
going to take a bite because
What is
COVID's over.
Yeah.
It's an apple pie donut.
And you're gonna
Did it
take
ever
a bite.
exist?
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm not a big apple pie guy. This donut's very cold.
Nice.
I didn't get any fillings, so I'm happy.
Oh wow.
Oh, that crunch sounds really good.
ASMR there.
Whoa.
Pretty good.
This is amazing.
It's really good.
That was a really good donut. Did you get filling?
Yeah.
You don't like filling. That's pumpkin pie filling though. I mean apple pie
Kind of
filling.
come around to.
Feeling is really good.
That's really good.
Here's what I'll say is
Yeah, round of applause.
they have 3 flavors, and that's not including their gluten-free keto flavors. The pumpkin pie chai cheesecake, the salted caramel, which might be my favorite, and that, you got to go.
Apple pie. That's
Oh, my
unbelievable.
goodness. You got to go.
Really good donut.
We did, everybody.
We sure did.
If you like this, join Rebel Gym Plus.
Yeah, if you like pina coladas, what should you do?
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get out of here.
Getting caught in the rain. I don't know
Okay,
what's
we should get caught in the rain, I guess.
So if you like pina coladas
and getting caught
I
in
know
the
that's
rain.
why
didn't
I
have
was
anywhere to
caught
go.
up
Yeah,
in a I don't know what to do. So you're telling me you can
If you're
go
not
to
into yoga, have a brain.
yeah. We'll be back next time with another one. Until then, may the first wish you a
Merry Christmas!
Deck the Hallmarks, the Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.